a reading from the Path. On New Year's Eve, we gathered in the main chapel for the midnight meditation led by Master. At one point during the proceedings, he beat a large gong softly, then with gradually increasing volume, alternatingly decreasing and increasing the volume in waves. Imagine this as the sound of Om, he told us, spreading outward to infinity. At the same instant, 100 miles south in Encinitas, another group of disciples was meditating in the main room of the hermitage. They too heard the gong as Master was striking it. One of the monks later told us, it was as though it were being struck in the hallway just outside the room we were in. The meditation that followed at Mount Washington was enthralling. Midnight came. Suddenly, waves of noise sweeping up from the city below and inward from the surrounding neighborhood, factory whistles, car horns, shouts, as countless celebrants ushered in the new year. The door of a neighboring house opened, and a voice with a tone almost of desperation shouted into the night, "Happy New Year!" What a contrast between the frantic, emotional, almost febrile excitement and the sounds that were being unleashed by the thousands of celebrants around us, and the calm, expanding soul joy we experience in ourselves, in the sublime peace of our little chapel. And how blessed, I reflected, how wonderful it was to be in this holy place at the feet of my divine Guru. I prayed that the new year would bring me an ever deepening awareness of God's love. This is very beautiful to think of spending the new year with devotees, with Guru Bhais, with the masters in uplifting spiritual vibration, because in the years to come, and every day really, we're trying to experience who and what we really are. A soul, a part of God, a wave that's trying to immerse itself again in spirit. And at these times of year, at this time of year, there's a special energy. You can feel it. It's a time like birthdays. I know there were birthdays celebrated today, or your Kriya Day, or some special time in your life. There's a grace period. There's a window that opens, and grace flows in. At the Master's birthdays, New Year's, Christmas, Diwali, special times, there's a grace that's flowing. And if we can catch that grace, we can move forward in the right way into the new year. And we can realize more and more, really, a new year is like a new birth. It's a new moment in our incarnation. It's a time to uplift ourselves. It's a time to remember that we are a part of God. And so at this time, that grace period is happening, that grace is opening, and it's a time when we can really move now into a wonderful time in our lives. I remember years back when I was at San Francisco Ananda House, and we would meditate in the mornings together. So I would go around and I would knock at people's doors, and there was a big 5-story house, and we would try to wake the devotees up to come down to meditate. And so I was one of the people. I had one day a week or whatever, and I'd go around and knock on the doors, and we would chant. So we had this one chant, "Oh my saint, wake, wake," you know that chant, Swami Shri Taswarji. You did it You did not meditate. You did not concentrate. You passed your side. I love to sing that. Then death will be at thy door. You won't have time anymore. Wait. So some people would get up and they could run out and thank you, Dhyana ji, thank you, Dhyana. Other people, I remember someone threw a shoe at the door. Boom! Just said, don't bother me. And isn't it so? We have both sides. One saying, yeah, I want to wake up. No, I'm ready to sleep again, you know. And Swamiji would come sometimes, and he'd come into the room and say, good morning, great souls. And people would go, who's he talking to? Well, he's talking to us. He's talking to us, that part of us wants to be the forefront of the new year, wants to be the forefront of our life. And at this time, we want to put that first, as I was saying in the satsang earlier. And so what we want to do is put our energy out in a way that we can awaken ourselves in this time to come. There was a man who came to Master, and he said, my wife has left, I don't have any more money, and my health has gone bad, and whatever. And he said, I don't know what to do. And Master said, it's because you're jinxed. You've jinxed yourself. You know this word, jinx. That he said, I've given everything, but you've jinxed yourself. And isn't it so that if we utilize what we have, we utilize what the Master has given, then he said, I will de-jinx you. I will take away the bad karma, the things that hold you back. And, you know, we can do that ourselves with that, our own energy and the grace of God. But the time for moving forward is at this time. Remember, Guruji said he loved that American spirit. Eventually, he said, why not now? Do it now. And Swamiji had the name of one of his books. You've seen that book. Do it now. Don't wait till half the year's over and wait till February, whatever. He says, do it now. Because that window of grace is open and you can move forward now in making a change. And Master said habits can be changed in an instant. You just redirect the way that you're thinking. And if you put out the energy and the power behind it, then God's grace picks you up. And I like to think, don't think so much about it. Just move forward in doing it. Like I tell people who start meditating, they just begin and they say, well, I can't get going. The thing you need to do is just get to the seat. If you get to the chair, then you can meditate fine. Same with like exercise. People, I don't want to go out. Just start walking. Start walking out the door. Don't think about it. Just keep moving. And as you keep moving, you realize that it's easier because the energy is already there. And so what do we do to move forward in the new year, particularly? Well, first, we want to work with our body. Now, we want to get the body strong. We want to get the body healthy. Master gave the energization exercises. I want to read you something about what he said about them. Now, here's the thing. We live in Delhi. It's polluted. And, you know, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of noise. It's not an easy place to live. But we don't live in the Himalayas. We live in Delhi. I also lived in Mumbai. I also was brought up in LA and born there. Now think about this. Babaji sent Lahiri Mahashaya back to the city. He sent him back to Benares from Himalayas, no? And he said, you go back and you show people that it's possible to meditate in the city. It's possible to be a yogi. It's possible to even halfway stay healthy. You know, it's possible. You go back and show people. And people think, well, you know, if I lived in a cave or if I lived in... Now, I wouldn't share this normally with people, but I heard from one of these readers, naughty readers, he said, just you have an attraction to the bottom of the Himalayas because you used to live there in caves and meditate. And I went, me? And then the further thing was, he said, and you go back to those caves. I thought, me in a cave? Never. So anyway, we're not in a cave right now. We're in Delhi. And I thought about it, and I thought, look at Master's life. Master left India. He goes to America. He lands up. He lives in Boston, New York. He founds his community, his ashram, his headquarters in Los Angeles. He has a Hollywood church. Remember when The Answer, the movie The Answer? And he says, you have a church in Hollywood? So, but Master lived there. He lived there from the 1920 to 52. And he was an avatar, and he was living in that situation. So also, our masters have lived in cities. We can't say that, oh, if I were, then I could do this. It's just the excuse. But here we are, and they've placed us here. So we have to utilize what they've given to be strong. You probably have seen this video of Guruji when he's walking down the streets of New York City. Boy, he is powerful. Did you see that video? He's got the long hair, ropes. He's got 2 or 3 Americans with him, and they're all big, They're like really strong, and he's walking down the street, and I thought, nobody's going to touch him. He had this enormous aura because he was in God consciousness. And when you go through the streets, you can't walk down a weakling, oh, I hope nobody bothers me today. It's like, you've got to get some strength. You have to get some Shakti. And the energization exercises and Mahamudra and yoga, I'm talking about the physical things first, and pranayama, they make you strong. They make you strong. And then things may come at you, but they don't hit you hard. And so the things we want to do, keep our bodies fit. Master said, keep the body fit for self-realization. As you get older, you find, I'm trying to keep mine together, but this happens, your body starts breaking down, and your back starts hurting, your neck's going out. But if you really keep with the exercises, you keep strong and vibrant and magnetic. Okay, so first thing, in going into the year, exercise, do yoga. You have yoga classes here, isn't it? Isn't it so? And energize, do pranayama, have a routine for your body. And otherwise, your Master said, keep the body as your friend. Then otherwise things will start to happen and it starts to break down. Now, Swamiji said a wonderful thing to somebody who had physical ailment, huge, terminal illness. He said to her, don't go into the consciousness of the disease. What great advice. People get a cold. Oh my God, I'm sick. He says, oh, my back is out. Don't go into the consciousness of the disease. Where do you want to go? You want to go up. You want to keep your energy up. So if something happens, the body gives it its due. But don't coddle all the time the body and, I have to do this, I have to have this. Just do what you can and leave it. And so I want to read this. What Master says is fantastic about energization. He says this, Yogoda energization prevents hardening of the arteries and ensures lasting youth by stimulating an even circulation and helping to eject foreign matter from the system. It revives, enlarges, and strengthens the tissues, awakens lazy muscles, helps to form strength in the bones and tissues, and accelerates involuntary functions such as those of the heart, lungs, stomach, and intestines, capillaries, lymphatic system, veins, brain. Ordinarily, we have no direct control over circulation, digestion, and other involuntary processes of the body, but we can influence them by the exercise of voluntary muscles over which we do have control. Okay, then he goes on. I'll read more of this a little bit later. But he's showing how through the exercises you can detoxify the body, strengthen the body, invigorate the body, purify the body. So first of all, for the body. Secondly, for the mind. Now, the mind is very open to influences. And we are surrounded by all kinds of influences that we just take in. And we take in from the television, the images that are there. We take in from the internet. We take in from what we read. We take in these influences. So we have to be careful in going into the new year. What are the influences that we want? Do we want to see negative things? Do we want to see violence? So we need to pick and choose. And have with you spiritual books, spiritual music. Swamiji wrote 400 pieces of music. Listen to the music that's uplifting. We've seen from Dr. Emoto and others how music influences us. It has an uplifting influence, it has a down influence. So if we can listen to music that's, remember maybe I told you before how the music, I just got a beautiful plant for my new place yesterday, but the plants are influenced by the music. And the plants, if the music is nice, the plants move toward the speakers. If the music is rajasic, the plants move away. They try to get away. Same with the water experiments of Dr. Emoto. The crystals that he was able to form through freezing water, and he intoned different vibrations and said different things. They were beautiful crystals. The ones that had an uplifting vibration. If he had a vibration like, I hate you, they formed very negative, deformed images, forms. And so we want to as well bring into our consciousness uplifting influences. The music that you listen to will influence you. And sometimes I get in a car with people who are driving, and that music is not good. I say, you listening to that? No, Dhyanaji, I'm not listening to that music. But you are listening to that music. That music isn't good for you. And so be conscious of what you listen to. And if you can, every day, listen to Swamiji, listen to Master's voice, surround yourself with good music, with good books, and choose what you watch. And if you're watching a movie or watching something on the internet, and you will find that your thoughts become more pure and more uplifted. Okay, and so with those things as well. Now here's another thought I had. Your company is important. So here, what better company could you have? I was so happy to be coming here today because, I'm going back and forth to go around sometimes, but to be with devotees, it's a blessing. Where do you get this vibration? Do you get it at the mall? No. Do you get it at the weddings? No. Where do you get it? You get it by being in ashrams. You've been satsang with other guru bhais. And so be aware of the company that you keep. Now, we can't choose our company all the time, but when we can, be with people like this. Like I was thinking in New Year's, I hope I can come, but I just don't know about the streets, how safe they will be. But what a wonderful way to spend New Year's Eve. Meditating with guru bhais. Meditating with people who love God. Being in an ashram. What a difference than going out, big party, people drinking, people, all crazy. If you can be in this kind of company, choose your company well. Now, I have something I've been thinking about. Guru bhais are typically uplifted people. Is it so? Do you feel uplifted? I hope you're feeling. Guru bhais are typically, I always try to take joy wherever I go. I just think consciously, I'm thinking consciously, how can I make people happy? How instead of what can I get from the person? So I have so many stories, but there's limited time. But anyway, think about how you can make other people happy wherever you go. And for example, I won't tell this airport story, I'd love to tell it, but there's not time. But when I go through the airport, which I've been going a whole lot last year, when I go through the check, the security, I'm always thinking, how can I make these people happy? They look so terrible. You know, so I go, hello, how are you? And I throw out the broken Hindi, and they love it. But think, how can I help other people to be uplifted? And people, 9 times out of 10, they turn it into a smiling face. They're happy. And once I taught somebody to meditate, even going through that security. But the other point is, being with the Guru Bhais, it's such a wonderful thing. And if I don't feel bad typically, but if somebody's feeling down and they call a Guru Bhai, what's the Guru Bhai is going to say? Oh, go. Okay, I'll send you a book, or I'll send you a quote on WhatsApp, or okay, let's go for a walk, or I just read something of Swamiji. They're always trying. There's a solution. If you call somebody else who's not spiritually inclined, so to speak, and say, "Oh, I'm feeling bad," they say, "I am too." It's the truth. Isn't the truth? Me too. And then they start telling you their problem, and you say, "I called you for help." And so, but think about it. If you stick with uplifted people as much as you can, even on WhatsApp, it's wonderful. Facebook, how are you, Jai Guru, Om Guru. I remember once, this funny story, this girl, it's sort of a side thing, but I'm telling you anyway. So this girl was in the ashram with us. I lived for 40 years pretty much in ashram. Thank God I'm not in ashram right now. My mother's given me some space. But anyway, so one girl, this was in Gurgaon, she said, Janaji, I'm with you in spirit, but I can't get up in the morning. I said, you can do it. I'm sure you can do it. She says, just knock on my door. In the mornings then, and it wasn't even early. It was like 6:30 or something. Hope you don't think that's early. So anyway, she said, just knock on my door. So I go in the morning and knock. I said, I'll knock on your door, and I'll say, from outside the door, I'll say, Jai Guru. And inside, from the bed, you join me, and you say Jai Guru, and then I'll know you're up, and you come down and meditate. But she said, oh, Jai Guru. So at first I said, Jai Guru. And she says loudly from the inside, Jai Guru. I said, okay, great, she's up. The next day I knock on the door, and I said, Jai Guru. I was always loud, and she would say, the next day she went, Jai Guru. I said, okay, she's up. And then the next day, Jai Guru, and just, Jai. I said, wait a minute, what's happening here? Jai Guru. It's just getting softer by the day. Then I went, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. I'm not coming to your door anymore. You're not getting up. But there's that part that's just asleep. And it just likes to be sleepy and comfortable. But that's part of you that just, it's uplifted. It wants to reach for the heights. And read books that are about people who are reaching for the heights. I read books about people who are climbing Mount Everest. I read books, there's this man, Portland, Oregon, who went all across the Antarctic from one end to the other. It took him 2 months or something like that. He's just reached, and read books about people and see stories that are inspiring. Be inspired. And read the books of the masters and the saints, the Tiger Swami and, the different ones, Ananda. I just love, when I got the autobiography of a yogi first, I didn't read it, I just looked at the pictures. I went, I want to be like him. And you can be, but it's all in how you think. So the next whole section is the mind, but then the thinking. And remember, Master worked on Swamiji with his thinking. Swamiji, remember the story, Swamiji was walking by Master Paramahansa Yoganandaji, and he says, well, how do you feel? His Master was super positive. And you see people today, well, how's everything going? I don't know. I said, what happened to you? I don't know. So anyway, Master walks by Swamiji, he says, how are you? Master was powerful. He would inject you with power. He says, how are you, Walter? And Swamiji says, well, Master said, that's good. And he just shook him. And remember, one man, he was with Master grabbed his head, and he pulled him face to face with him and just looked into his eyes really strongly, and the man just, he was in a daze. He stumbled out of the room, and Swamiji said, "What happened?" He said, "I don't know. I don't know what happened." But, I mean, get up there and look in the eyes of these, the faces of these gurus. You're going to have some energy flowing into. Master said, "To those who think me near, I am going to be near." So I remember once I was fading years ago. I was fading, and I just went, "Gee, why is it so bad? Things are so hard." And, you know, this is a mantra people have, isn't it? It's a mantra. Things are so bad. Why is it so hard? And I had this picture of Master. I was praying to him. I just said, "Why is it so hard? Everything's hard, and it's hard for me. It's hard for my friends. Everybody's having a hard time." And I looked in his face, and it was like, the thought was, "What station are you tuned to? Like, where are you tuning yourself? It's not hard. Put out the energy. Make it happen. Get some solutions. Get some answers. Get your energy going." You know, Master said, if I need a job, I shake up the whole world to get a job. I need a job. Get a job, you know. I remember Swamiji said for music, he said there's music everywhere. He said he just pulled those melodies out of the ether. Once he said I needed a song, but by the time I got up from where I was to the time I got to the piano, which was just half of the room, he said, it came to me. Someone asked Yogananda ji, "Can you get inspiration at will?" He says, "Yes, take this poem down." You understand? It was like, he got it. But the blocks that people have, worry, fear, you know, nervousness, anger, those are all blocks. You can start working those blocks out. How? Get a harmonium, first thing, or listen to the chants. Do the affirmations. Do the energization. Make things, get your energy moving. And I remember when we lived in Italy, Keshavaji and I were there at the same time, and we were just starting to work over there. And Swamiji brought us over there, and remember Keshava, he'd call every Monday morning, Swamiji would call. I mean, I was 28 years old. I didn't know what was up or down. I didn't know why I was there. But I was willing, but I definitely was not in tune. But Swamiji would phone us, and I remember from the bed, I could hear the phone. I just can't get up today. You know, you hear, and you knew it was him calling you. So you finally get yourself up, get over, and Swamiji, "How are you doing?" And you just go, "Okay, I'm better now." But he was just trying to get you to wake up. Get your energy moving. And now there's a wonderful community there, and all throughout Europe, different centers, but there was the four of us at the beginning, and you know, he just tried to work through us to make it happen. So the doubts and the worries and the fears, they have to go. And they go through the sadhana. And there are particular things you're working on, just write them down and try to get them out, you know, of your mind. And the best way, I think, is through the chanting and through the music, of course through the affirmations. But all of these things help to cleanse you and help to get the energy flowing strongly. So the mind. And also, yeah, I wanted to go into this. That's interesting. That you think sometimes that things will just they just won't work out. Remember how Guruji was, when he first went to America, he stayed in the YMCA. Amazing. And Young Men's Christian Association, is that what it is? Yeah, YMCA. So he had a little room there, and so Dr. Lewis, his first disciple, came. And Master, he had no doubts and no worries. He was just there, and because Babaji had told him, this is what's going to happen. And Swamiji told us often, Babaji and Master are behind this work. It's not me or you. And so there was Master, and he's sitting there in this little room at the Y in 1920. And he's Indian, you know, the hair and everything. And Dr. Lewis is a Westerner, and looking at Master. Master said, "Doctor, it's going to be big. His work is going to be big." And he just got there. And Dr. Lewis looks around the room. He just couldn't understand how it was going to happen. You know, and you look at your life and you just go, how's it going to work? How's it going to happen? And Swamiji, from the very beginning of Ananda, would say, this will happen, we'll be in Australia, we'll go there, then we'll go to Italy, then we'll go to India. And we were just in this, you just said, how? How is it going to happen? But he could see it. And in our lives, we have to be able to see that and to affirm that that's going to happen. And then it will. And so Master and Swamiji both had that consciousness. And I remember, and I want to get to the exercise. I remember when we were in Gurgaon in the beginning years weren't that easy. And Daya and Keshavaj, Sangita, we were all there, different ones of us. And at a certain point, I remember we were about to close down that ashram. It was just a difficult time. And, we were wondering, how's it going to happen? How's it going to happen? And I had just come back from America, and people said, oh, Dhyana, we don't have any money, we can't pay the rent. It was a terrible situation. Swamiji had just moved to Pune with a group down there, and so a lot of energy went with him. So I just thought, this just couldn't be. Why would Master want this to happen? And I prayed to him. I just said, is this what you want? You want us to close down and the ashram here? And we didn't have centers all over then. We had a couple, but not many. And I very clearly could feel, if not hear him saying, listen, I'm the boss around here. Why are you listening to them? And this is the thing, who's the boss in your life? We put out the energy, we make ourselves strong, we get our mind strong, our energy strong, but then we connect that with God's grace. And remember, there's that story of that protection of God and Guru is there. There was a story of Norman, one of Master's disciples, in a flatbed truck. He was going downhill, the brakes went out, and then he just praised the Master. Is this what you want, Master? The car stops. You have to realize that protection is there if you open to it, if you draw it. There's a woman at Ananda village, Seva. Some of you may have met her who've been there. But there was an explosion there was something that had gone wrong with the car. And somehow she was close to the car, to I think it was the carburetor that exploded or something, but it blew up in her face and just caught her whole face was burned. And I just heard this story 2 days ago in one of Swamiji's talks, and he said that her face was completely blown up. He said it was like a football, just huge. He went to see her in the hospital, and he said that she said there wasn't any pain. Now, and if you see her now, there's just a little bit of a scar on one side. You would never, ever know. Why? Protection of God and Gurus. And I've heard many, many stories. There was another story of someone in a truck at Ananda village who was going down and the brakes failed. And then he ended up going off the road, but a tree caught him, because he was in that protection. And there were some people here in Delhi, Gurgaon members. They had gone to come into Delhi to do some shopping or something. And they had just gotten out of their car, the man, his wife, and the 2 kids. And they were just walking off. And then a bus came and just totaled the car. But they were fine. He had the car protector. I don't know if you sell those here, but we have them in Gurgaon. He said, I realized that Master wasn't necessarily protecting the car. He was protecting us. And isn't it so? And so that protection is there. There are numerous stories from the path that you can get from there about that. But so what what I want to do now is actually do some of these things with you so that you can have like your own little tool case and take that into the new year and work with these things. So I want to do a little bit of the energization. Pranayama is one of the things. I want to do a chant, I want to do an affirmation, and a couple of other things with you. So please stand, and we'll go through these one by one. Now, I want to show you one thing first. Master taught this, and wait a minute, maybe you can't see me now, but anyway, hands in the front, and then going to the back, and then back to the front, touching, your palms touching, back and forward. Back and forward. And then with this, we chant, first of all, feel a circle of light around you. When you move your arms, imagine a circle of light, the strength of your energy increasing your aura. Close your eyes a moment and imagine light all around you. And then Master said to protect yourself with these powerful words, Om Tat Sat, 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 Om Tat Sat. Now bring the palms together in front. Keep the eyes closed a moment. You can do that practice anytime. In the mornings, evenings, during your day, anytime you feel any weakness, you have some challenge ahead of you. Imagine the light of God and the great ones all around you now. Let's do it once more. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat. Feel the protection, the strength, the energy of God and the great ones, along with your own. Now bring the hands down. And this next exercise, Master used to teach publicly, but then he just started teaching to disciples. It's part of the Kriya Yoga preparatory practices. If you know this, how many of you? I'm going to bend down and I'm going to raise up like this. Many of you know this. Is it so? Yes? No? Okay. So join me if you can. I'll just say it out loud and you can join. Come down. Bring your arms all the way down. Relax your back, arms, neck, head, everything down. Knees. Now inhale and come up, stretching, stretching, stretching. Your arms stretch up, all the way up. Great. Now bend back slightly. Now exhale through the mouth. Relax, 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 relax down. This is great to wake you up in the mornings. Inhale through the nostrils. Long, deep breath. Stretch your spine like a big hose. Bend back. Great. Come forward. Exhale through the mouth. Relax. Come up again. With strength in the arms, vibrating the arms. Tense your body up. Now relax your body back down. Inhale, tense up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Up first. Now back slightly. Vibrating. Exhale. We'll do one more. Inhale. Tense your body as you inhale. Come up. Strength in the body. Bend back. Great. Bring the arms to the sides, sides. Stand tall for a moment with closed eyes. Let's inhale with the double breath and tense the body. Feel you're drawing in prana, life force, in through the medulla to the whole body. Vibrate your body. Exhale. Expel the carbon, the toxins. Inhale. Fresh prana. Vibrate. Every cell of the body is vibrating. Exhale. Double breath out. Again, inhale. Tense with will, vibrate, curl the toes under, exhale. Let's do just a couple more of the rechargers. Let's do the fencing exercise. If you don't know, just follow. Opposite arm and leg. Come back strong. Forward, tension, come back relaxing. Forward, hard. Come back, forward, tense. Come back, opposite arm and leg, forward. Come back, forward. Come back, forward. Like you're stamping out all worries, fears, forward. Once more. Great. Now let's do the final exercise. Exhale, arms out. No tension. Then inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Expelling the toxins. Once more. And exhale. Come to your seat. This last part will be experiential. If anybody wants to move to the front on the carpet, you may want to come forward and take your seats. We can dim the lights now. I'll need the microphone. Please come forward. If you're too far in the back, there's lots of room in the front here. Please come and join in the energy. Just right there. That's enough of the lights, yeah. Keep the rest on. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll read you some health tips at the end. But for now, let's inhale, double breath. Exhale. Inhale. Energy. Exhale. Worries, any fears and doubts. Inhale. High consciousness. Prana. Exhale. Doubts, fears. Inhale. Exhale. Great. Now we'll do one pranayama to calm the mind, the alternate nostril. And we'll inhale to a count of 10, hold 10, and exhale through both nostrils. Inhale now, beginning now. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Check your posture, shoulders back, chest open. Hold. You can do this to 10, 12, 15, 20 counts, however you want. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Calming the breath and the mind. Hold. This can be done anywhere as needed. Exhale. Twice more. Inhale. Feel that coolness in the brain. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Master says about chanting and affirmations, it is better to say just one phrase, such as, "O Father, heal me," or "I am well, for thou art in me," extemporaneously, repeating it vigorously from loud voice to whisper, and lastly from a whisper to mental affirmation, until one feels what one is saying. That is, repeating a phrase with increasing depth of soul feeling until one realizes the meaning of his utterance in every fiber of his being. The moment the phrase reaches the superconscious and the inner conviction, a volley of energy will shoot down and heal the body, mind, and soul, electrocuting physical bacteria, paralyzing mental fears, and burning ignorance into ashes. We'll do a chanting of Om at each chakra now. The base of the spine, focus your awareness there and let this sound, these sounds, notes that Swamiji came up with in his meditation, feel these sounds penetrating deep inside the spine, deep inside your consciousness, deep inside the chakras, awakening energy, burning up, dissolving, breaking up the blockages, mental, physical blockages within. So at the base of the spine, Muladhara chakra, fix your mind there. Let's chant this note together out loud, feeling the energy there at the base of the spine. Swadhisthana, an inch and a half up the spine. Listen to the note. Sing along. Feel the energy there, the chakra opening, more energy now. The Manipur, listen to the note. Sing along. The spiritual eye, Kutastha Chaitanya, listen first, sing along. Vishuddha. Sit for a moment, feel those sounds going deep within your consciousness, dissolving blockages and awakening. The soul's nature. Looking up at the spiritual eye. Feel yourself being bathed in light. Then in your mind, offer a prayer to God and the Gurus for this coming year. Something you aspire towards. And you're drawing their help for this particular quality or wish or desire in your life. Hold that up at the light, the spiritual eye, offering it to God, the Gurus, for their grace and their help. In this uplifted state, ask them to bless this coming year, to protect you, to guide you, your family, your work, every aspect of your life. Master said the spiritual eye is like the sending or transmitting station for your prayers. And the heart chakra, is where you receive the blessings from the divine. Feel in your heart now the assurance of God's presence in your life, now and in this coming year. Mentally pray, bless me that I be in tune with Thee in this coming year. Guide me, protect my life, be with me in this coming year. Now feeling the grace and blessings of God and the Masters, let's close this part by strengthening our own will and our own energy with an affirmation of Masters. I'll say the words first, and then we'll say it several times out loud together. Let's first, once more, inhale and tense your body. Then relax. And again. These are the words of Masters. I'll say it once and then we'll do it together. I will with my own will. No, I'll say the whole thing. Which flows from the divine will. To be healthy, to be well, to be prosperous and spiritual, to be well, to be well. These are the words of Master. We'll say them as an affirmation, line by line. Gazing up at the spiritual eye, feeling his power, his blessing, the blessing of all the gurus with you, flowing through you as we repeat these words. I will with my own will.
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 Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To be healthy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
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 Which flows from the divine 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 will.
To be healthy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
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 Which flows from the divine 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 will.
To be healthy, to be well.
To be healthy, to be well.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own
I will with my own will.
I will with my own
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To be healthy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
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 To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own
I will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To be healthy, to be well.
To be healthy, to be
To
well.
be healthy, to be well.
To be healthy, to be
To
well.
be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and
To
spiritual.
be well, to be well.
To be well, to be
I
well.
will with my own will. I will with my own will. Which flows from the divine will. Which flows from the divine will. To be healthy, to be well. To be healthy, to be well. To be prosperous and spiritual. To be prosperous and spiritual. To be well, to be well. I will with my own will. I will with my own will. I will with my own will. Which flows from the divine will. Which flows from the divine will. To be healthy, to be well. To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own will. I will with my own will. I will with my own will. I will with my own Now we'll do an affirmation chant together to close this section. Feel the soul's quality of joy as you're entering into the new year. Lead with this quality. From joy I came, for joy I live. In sacred joy I melt again. From joy I came, for joy I live. In sacred joy I melt again. From joy I came, for joy I live. In sacred joy I melt again. From joy I came, for joy I live. In sacred joy I melt again. From joy I came, for joy take a moment. We're going to write down now some quality or some situation or some person, circumstance that we want to be freed from this year. We want to offer that karma up to God and gurus, receive their strength, their blessings in that situation. Think of one thing you want to release from this past year, and think of one other that you want to go into this next year with some quality, something you want to aspire towards in the coming year. Hold that in your mind for a moment. Just think, and then go ahead and write one thing from the past to release and something to walk into the new year with. And then we'll have a chance to place these, or at least come up to the altar for blessing on them. Take a moment now and you can write these down. We won't be sharing these. You'll be able to just take it home and put it on your altar. So just take a moment now. And as we're closing, now I'll read just a couple of these health tips from Master's words, how to achieve glowing health and vitality. Try to include in your daily diet as much raw food as possible. There are lots of energy-producing vitamins in all uncooked green vegetables. Cooking destroys the energy. Nature is the best cook. She prepares all vegetables and fruits with ultraviolet rays and distilled water. And another. Eat very little meat, only chicken, lamb, and fish occasionally. If you are used to eating meat and think your system demands it. Nuts, cottage cheese, eggs, milk, cream, coconuts, and bananas are all very good meat and fish substitutes. If you eat chicken, lamb, and fish, have a vegetable salad with them. Do not drink water with meals. This habit destroys the shape of the body. Eating too much at each meal, followed by lack of exercise, develops the body disproportionately. The juice of one lemon or lime distilled in warm water without sugar and drunk alone is known to be very good for the liver, spleen, intestines, and kidneys. Lemon juice taken daily is known to disinfect the physical organs. The acid in the lemon destroys any undesirable germs that get into the body through food. And then two more. Curing a cold. When you catch a cold, fast for 2 days. During a cold, the extra poisons in your body are being thrown off. If you eat food, you obstruct the poison-eliminating system of nature with extra food chemicals. If you cannot handle a complete fast, eat apples, pears, or grapes, but refrain from eating acid foods. Finally, exercise until you perspire. Don't complain of stomach troubles, colds, or headaches. These are always the outcome of a faulty diet or lack of physical exercise. Perform some sort of exercise every day until you perspire, and that breaks out over your whole body. Your colds and other similar ills will soon disappear. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now each one can come up to the altar. You can just touch your paper to the altar, receiving a blessing from God and the Masters on what you have written down to leave behind in this past year and what you aspire towards in the year to come. So please come up now, several at a time as you feel to. And we'll have some quiet chanting in the background. Bindu, which one did you read? 1938? Today you read which one of these of Master's message?
1939.
Gotcha. I'll read one of these and then everyone will get one. These are different messages from Master for the new year. Our old tutor, is that the one you read?
The garden.
Okay. Our old tutor of last year has just passed away. Let us all remember the valuable lessons that he taught us and thus dedicate our future actions on the altar of the coming new year. Let us remember the dire discipline which we received as a result of our erroneous ways, and let us not repeat them on the sanctum of the new year, decorated with the fresh blossoms of our new hopes. Let us remember the joyous instructions and blissful experiences of the past year, and let us repeat them with greater intensity in the coming new year. Let us forget the sorrows of the past and make up our minds not to bring them back in the coming new year. With new determination and unflinching will, let us make up our mind to renew our life, our better habits, our successes in the temple of the new year. If the last year has been hopelessly bad, the new year must be hopefully good. Remember, no matter what our trials have been or how discouraged we are, if we will make a continued effort to be better and to succeed, we will find that being made in the image of God, we are endowed with unlimited power, much stronger than our worst trials, no matter what they may be. Let us make up our minds that we will win, focusing all our concentration on the ceaseless efforts to succeed in the new year, and we will surely be victorious. Remember that our past difficulties did not come to crush us, but to strengthen our determination to use our limitless divine powers to succeed. God wants us to conquer the difficult tests of life and come back to his home of wisdom. Let us return in this new year. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. God bless you all, and Happy New Year. Please, could some of you come and pass these